And let's begin in KwaZulu-Natal. That's where search and rescue teams are combing the Mduduzi River, which is north of Durban, after 2 men were swept away. 8 people died in floods at the weekend in the eThekwini metro. More rain is falling in the area after the South African Weather Service issued an orange level 5 warning for heavy rainfall and thunderstorms along the KwaZulu-Natal coast today that could lead to flooding. The KwaDukuza municipality's head of lifeguards, Bongani Xulu, says 2 men had been taking part in a cleansing ceremony. He says lifeguards, in conjunction with Durban Search and Rescue and also Umhlali K9, are on the scene and searching the Gledhow area.
All right, for more on that level 5 warning by the South African Weather Service, I'm now joined by SABC meteorologist Mduduzi Mthembu. Always a pleasure to speak to you. Let's just start with a sense of how things are looking in other provinces, but we start with KwaZulu-Natal.
Yeah, so KwaZulu-Natal has the highest warning, which is at level 5. And then the other provinces, which is Mpumalanga, the Eastern Free State, Gauteng, Limpopo, and the Northwest Province, they are currently having a yellow level 2 warning of heavy rainfall.
So what does it mean then, especially for somebody who's watching and they're asking themselves, oh, level 2, what does it mean? Okay,
I'll start with level 5. Level 5 means there is a higher probability of the weather happening, and also the impact of it happening will be quite significant. Compared to level 2, which is slightly lower, it means the probability of the weather event happening is there, but the impact will be lower than at level 5. But the warning system that we have can go up to level 10, which is the highest, and the color also changes from yellow to orange and then to red. Currently we have yellow, which is the middle one, and we're currently at level 5, which means the probability of the event is currently expected to happen, and the impact will be quite significant.
And I wonder, Mdu, if you can tell us what we are seeing then, so that we can also just give a sense to our viewers, what are we watching right now on this board?
So the yellow, the shade of yellow, which is over the northeastern parts of the country, including the northwest, Limpopo, Gauteng, Mpumalanga, the Eastern Free State, KwaZulu-Natal, and the wild coast of the Eastern Cape, is a level 2 warning of severe thunderstorms, also disruptive rainfall, which may lead to flash flooding in places. And then along the coast of KwaZulu-Natal is an orange level 5 warning of heavy rainfall that may also lead to disruptive rainfall that may lead to localized flooding, which is currently in place. These are conditions for tonight, but then as the night progresses, things may get even severe over the northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. And the problem is that if it happens at night, there might be a problem with the rescue missions getting there and not being able to assist anyone, because it's quite dark, and it's also in rural areas there in the northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. But the fortunate part of this is that by tomorrow we're expecting the rainfall to have moved out of the country, with only a level 2 warning of disruptive rainfall still in place over Limpopo. There is also a slight chance of localized flooding.
So, Mdu, people often wonder when we hear from, yourselves and you presenting the weather, and you say severe weather alert or severe weather expected. What does that mean?
It means that our forecast indicates that the weather will become severe as time progresses. So, as I mentioned, we have a early warning system that we issue days in advance if we are seeing that there is a system that is coming, and a combination of systems make things even worse, such as the one that we currently have, which is a combination of a surface trough system over the western interior and then a reaching high pressure system over the east coast of the country. So the trough system over the western interior is drawing moisture and warm air from the tropics, while the reaching high along the east is drawing tropical air from the Indian Ocean, which is quite warm. So the area where these systems meet each other is unfortunately over KwaZulu-Natal. It is as a result that we are seeing these severe weather conditions mostly affecting KwaZulu-Natal.
So the northern parts, and you and I just talked about this just a short while ago. So tonight, as it intensifies, do we know in terms of the millimeters what's expected, and how intense is it likely to be? And are there specific parts that would be of grave concern?
Yes, I can just add one more thing. That's because of the fact that it has been raining for a couple of days, the soil is already clogged with water. So any amount of rainfall might lead to flooding, especially over KwaZulu-Natal. As you can see on this image, bands and bands of clouds are moving in from the tropical regions of southern Africa, past Botswana and Zimbabwe, into the northern parts of the country. And these blue shades is an indication of the significant amount of rainfall that is there. And then the yellow circles there are active storms, and as they move further east, and they are quite moving slowly, meaning they spend a lot of time over one area. Therefore, any amount of rainfall might lead to localized flooding, especially in areas where there is also poor infrastructure, which is clogged with debris, and also it's been raining for days. So it is very likely, as this picture indicates, that KwaZulu-Natal and the eastern parts of the Eastern Cape might see quite significant flooding overnight.
Sure, Mdu, this is quite worrying, and Iman is about to have a conversation with the Department of Cooperative Governance in KwaZulu-Natal, because this certainly means that preparations need to get underway. But thank you so much for just giving us a sense of how things are looking, especially around the country. That's my colleague there, Mduduzi Mthembu.